How do you fix a city? How do you fix a community? How do you fix one single person within a community inside of a city? Welcome to This Trenton Life.
Create, conjure, conceive. Create, conjure, conceive. Create, conjure, conceive. Create a space of peace and love. Conjure the spirit of the city capable of great things. Create, conjure, conceive. Create, conjure, conceive.
I can hire a team of people to come in and clean the trash off the streets, and it still wouldn't change the fact that people are shooting one another down here. Byron Woodbury
shot his best friend in the chest. I read about it.
I have been with Passage Theater and the Stacer Project for 12 years, and we've been working with kids in the Trenton area all that time. And up until this year, we had worked within the schools. But what we want is a collection of characters that you can either start fresh and start new with, or you can continue writing the one that you started. But this way you have more options. All right, so if you need to get up, get something and then bring it back. And we decided to kind of break away from the school district so that we could work with a variety of kids throughout the area, not kids affiliated with one particular school. And we've been meeting once a week, and we're putting together a script based on things they've observed, things they've thought about, what it's like living in Trenton. And then we're going to do an outdoor show over on Hanover Street, which is a street that's kind of been rebranded in the past year. It's full of abandoned buildings, but the Sage Coalition, which is a group of visual artists, has decorated the abandoned buildings. So we thought it made a good stage and a backdrop for these guys to perform.
You're looking at me all judgy. I don't owe you anything.
Then you didn't say you did.
But you're thinking it. So when do we talk about that?
That last bit's from...
I like that.
Yeah, but so that, I'll rewrite that scene. Do we like that scene?
I like the end and how it closed off, so
Yeah.
we talk about that. That's nice.
Cool, okay, yeah, I'll figure out some way to transition into the next. Do we like that scene? The main idea is that we're creating things that come directly from them, that we're kind of accessing their own experience of life in Trenton and being a young person in Trenton.
I'm in love with performing. It's my first love since freshman year in high school. I mean, when I was little, I always played with toys and pretend I was the character. And for once, I get to be somebody else other than myself. And you know, it started off being a hobby. I used to just, I used to fake cry or, be dramatic with my brother. But then I actually realized that I'm very good at it, so I wanted to make it a career.
I get to do different types of characters and show different sides of me, and it's amazing. I put my real self in the character of Jody in the play. It really helps me to express myself in my art.
Allowing students to perform, and a lot of times, especially in class, it starts with being able to just kind of speak your voice. And sometimes our voice is, it comes out through poetry or writing. So sharing your writing.
In my city, there's no safety, just on guns. Yeah, I should be proud of my city. This city isn't for me.
So who's this person?
This is Jade, who has gone to college and returned.
Agreed.
And I only say that quite literally because she has gone to college and her Facebook posts are about
Jade.
What's happening.
So yeah, well Jade's a name that we've invented. No, so Jane's gone to college and she's come back, and so now she's kind of observing what her town is like since she's come back. And tell me what these things mean specifically. I'm not this city. The city isn't me. Yet I will always be my city.
I guess he's not saying like I'm not literally the city, but like I'm from here, so I guess it's actually a part of me. Cause I guess when people say like, "Oh yeah, I'm from here," I guess it's like considered.
But I'll never be myself.
Yeah.
Right.
You can take the boy out the city, but you can't take the city out the boy.
Right.
I like being here for the simple fact that, like, it's a bunch of people that like to do what I like to do. Because I go to a school where some people are afraid of being who they are, and then some people do what they do. And it's like me, I've never had much of an outlet, and I've never been around like so many people who like the same thing. So when I come here, they're like, okay, do this. And I'm sometimes a little shy. And then here, when everybody's acting one way, I'm like, hey, we can all be ourselves. That day we were doing improvs, and we were just like talking about everything, and we were talking about friends, and we were talking about family and struggles and everything like that. You know how we all like we're all friends and everything. Yeah, we all go out to eat together, and it's not you. It's not me either. It's them. Okay.
It's them.
It's definitely them.
I think it's better to improvise when you're with someone than by yourself. That do make sense, because sometimes you're like, okay, what I'm doing, I don't know what I'm doing. But you know, you have someone else to bounce the ideas with. It's better to have someone else. I do admit that. Started from scratch. It was like, hey, I like that story. This could go with that poem. And yo, you can be Jade. That's just pull out that story. So I thought that was real creative. That was the first time I actually seen something do like that.
A term is just a season, not a year. A term is just a marking period, not a semester. A term is just a year, not a century. A term is just a century, not a millennium. A term is a love, not the love. Time is before the Big Bang and after the earth stood still.
Everybody goes through things, and it was kind of personal to me. So it was basically me telling myself that everything has a term and a time. Not everything lasts forever. And the bad times come to an end, the good times come to an end, but you don't have to worry about anything for like too long.
We lay the groundwork with, it sets it foreshadows whatever I reap, so will they.
We get some deep stuff out of all this stuff that wasn't even supposed to go
Yeah,
there.
right?
Nice.
You know, this is what writing is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is what creating something is. Theater and writing.
It's my shoe.
Yeah, this is what it's all. And here, you know, what's interesting? I don't mean to say this happens every time. This isn't an accident. When you have ideas and you put them out on paper, and then when you get together in a room with a lot of people and you start discussing the things that came out of your head, it's always this interesting. It's always this deep.
This whole production just gives off a lot of positivity, especially towards the negative parts of, Trenton. As we tend to, like, inside of the play, we make a lot of jokes and stuff about it, the serious things, but we're trying to like make it a lot. We're trying to make it very positive. Like in one of the scenes, there's an angry resident.
55 Clinton! My phone number is 555-2424. The hole's 2 feet wide by 3 inches deep. My birthday is June 14th.
He's trying to get it fixed, and the people of the city are just being very like, you got a pothole, okay, we don't know how to fix it.
We can't do anything about your pothole. Then why are you picking up the phone? I don't know, maybe me care about my job.
Being from Trenton, a lot of people from Trenton, they don't want to hear anything that's negative. They don't want to hear the truth about the city. And I think that, by this production is like shedding light onto the, the darker subjects and the darker areas of Trenton and what's bad about Trenton, because there is some things that's bad about Trenton, but there is some things that's good, and that's us.
I would like to go back and do that again from the top, please, and have some notes to kind of keep you going. There's got to be, so we don't go like plunging into, because we have to sustain our audience for a little while, and sometimes I feel like if you go too deep and too sorrowful and too like over the edge, then they just get morose is the only word I can think of.
It's really hard to convince someone that has not done a lot of theater, regardless of age, that it is more than just memorizing lines. I've seen pretty consistently since I started working here that seems to be the last step. Like, I'm ready to go when I know my lines. There are moments when I'm about to see some genuine acting, and then you guys go, oh, that's not right, that's embarrassing, I couldn't possibly. And it's almost like you back up. Those moments where you feel uncomfortable, that's the right place to be. Yes. That is the right place to be, is a little bit uncomfortable. It's not comfortable to act. Am I right?
You're right.
Okay.
I didn't.
Did you almost just say anywhere but here?
Line.
Look at this place.
Look at this. Look at this place, Indigo. It gets worse.
Say the line again. Let's focus. Say the line again.
Look at this place, Indigo. It gets worse and worse. The schools get worse. The jobs get worse. There are fewer cops, and there are no jobs.
When did you turn into a hater?
I'm not a hater.
Turn into a what?
Hater.
Good.
Hater.
Say it out loud.
When did you turn into a hater?
I'm not a hater. I just think we both can do better.
Cabria, your performance in that last scene is great, okay? But, so be confident about that. You need to look at your lines a little bit, but here's the reason it's great, and here's the reason you're forgetting your lines. Because you're acting. Okay, no, wait, put your hand down. Because you are acting without thinking, and that's what actors do.
In music, if you miss the beat, you gotta keep going because it draws more attention to go back and try to pick up that beat. And then, so just let it go and keep it moving. It's okay.
Yeah. Like, now what do I do? Now what do I do with Cabria? If I know that they weren't going to be here, maybe I could have arranged another rehearsal for another day. I feel like I'm doing everything I can, but how are we going to do? I don't know how we're going to do the show. I really don't know how we're going to do it. Cabria has one scene, and we've worked it with her and Joseph, but.
Hey, where are you?
I think they think I'm not, I don't have that disciplinarian thing. Miss Wyatt has the disciplinarian thing. She's really good at that. I hope that, and this may not happen now, this may not happen until I'm out of the picture and they've gone on and they're working somewhere else, that they start to get an inkling that their behavior influences situations and other people and affects other people's time and affects projects. You're not going to find a job in any industry anywhere in the world where you don't have to sit down as part of a team and work on projects with deadlines.
I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow. I know it's going to be great. A lot of positive people here, a lot of positive and great energy, and that's going to just make me want to not stop doing the show. I know it's only 2 days, and it's always 2 days with our productions here, and I just wish we would do them more and more and more. Because I think the city needs to see this more and more and more. So.
All right, this way, this way, this way. Are we all here? For better or for worse, tomorrow we're doing the performance, and they will, if there are any mishaps, they will have to find their way out of them. They're all smart, so I think they'll figure it out.
Think about the journey that this has been. So for some of you who have graduated and come back, your journey started last year when we did Get Off the Bus. Our art, this great art that we've done, is the result of hard work, and I want you to just take a moment to remember the journey and enjoy your performance, and that's basically what I said.
You guys, and I was serious about what I said yesterday about this, what you guys have created here being some of the most interesting discussion about what Trenton is and what Trenton means that I've ever heard. You guys have a voice, in the last year's show and in this year's show as well, that is largely unheard when people talk about Trenton. Okay, because you're telling it like it is. You don't have an agenda. I really appreciate that, and I think that the people that are coming today will really appreciate that too.
In Act 1, a group of high school girls try to change the past. In Act 2, an angry Trenton resident tries to get City Hall to fix a pothole in front of his house. And finally, in Act 3, we wonder, if fixing the city takes longer than you've planned, do you stick to the guns? Or do you give up and move on?
Bad they called her. No room for error or mistakes. She prided herself in looking good. Face on 100, morals on 2.
Mike, we've been hearing stories about Sheila from her classmates.
See, I love Sheila, you feel me? I still do love her.
Okay, so tell me about the time you two broke up.
It was just that, like, the long distance relationship just wasn't working. It was something we both knew we had to move on from.
Sorry, Sheila.
Sorry for what?
Sorry we drifted apart.
Don't feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for the things that you can fix.
I felt like I could fix things back then. I don't know why I didn't.
I don't know. Friends, high school, love, sex. It can all feel like you're in the center of a hurricane. As soon as you step out of the eye, you're gonna get picked up and torn apart, dropped in some nearby town.
So just how big are Trenton's problems? We found out that they're approximately 2 feet wide by 3 inches deep.
I'm sorry, that sounds dangerous.
Thank you, I know. I'm just wondering if someone from the city could come out and fix it.
I'm sure someone can,
Great.
but I have no idea who. Did you talk to vehicular marketing and roadside repair?
Yes, they were no help.
Did you give them your address before or after your phone number?
Before.
How big is the pothole?
I don't know. It's a fairly big pothole.
I'm gonna need you to measure it.
Are you kidding?
And hurry, I'm about to leave for vacation.
Okay. Hold on.
Great, and what's your birthday?
Why do you need my
As
birthday?
a precaution.
June 14th.
That was yesterday!
Yes, it was.
Happy birthday.
Thank you!
Did you almost just say anywhere but here?
Look at this place, Indigo. It gets worse and worse. The fewer cops, there are no jobs. The violence is worse.
So when did you become a hater?
I'm not a hater, I'm just saying we both can do better.
Where?
Anywhere. We can talk about it. California, Chicago, New York, Philly. We can go to Philly and still be 45 minutes away from home.
And what about the children I work with? I'm just gonna leave them?
There are kids in Philly.
You think the kids are just interchangeable? Like I'm gonna be happy with any child as long as they're poor and black and urban? You seen the Gandhi Garden lately? Take a look.
What happened used to be nothing but dirt.
Bunch of guys got together and cleaned it up. Planted flowers, put artwork everywhere.
It's nice, but...
They didn't talk about doing it, they just did it. You see, there are people who talk about making the city a better place, but secretly, they kind of like that the place is screwed up. It gives them something to talk about. And those people that are doing things, those people are few and far between.
I love performing. That's just my life. I love it. I love it so much. It's just like a chance where everybody's eyes are on you and everybody is listening to you, and it's kind of hard to just talk to someone and tell them what's negative about their life. But I feel like when I'm on stage and I'm performing and I'm saying the same things that I would say to them one-on-one, but I'm saying it on stage, I feel like it sinks in more because it's they feel like they're not being directly attacked.
My city is a battlefield filled with people who are left to die. People who are just trying to survive. People who are struggling for financial stability. Talent drowning in the Delaware stream.
So it's a chance for me to really get my voice out there and possibly change people's lives.
Theater is so great for me because I feel like I'm connecting with the audience and not just on the stage performing by myself. I'm ministering to the audience. I really feel a connection, and I think performing again tells stories, and it allows I know for me the character, it allows us to speak on our situation in a different way, because I can have an intelligent conversation with you all and just tell you my story, but performing it and actually being a part of it is totally different. So it's telling the story versus being a part of the story, and I think that's the difference, and I think being a part of it is more effective than telling it.
Every student should have that in their life, at least some type of piece of theater. Or I think it should be taught to them as in kindergarten, so they can know how to express themselves and not be trapped in a box.
I'm glad to have something to strive for. It just gave me another life. When I'm acting, it's just I'm not me, and I guess that's of course all it's about, being a different actor, a character.
Thank you so much. We have
we have a little bit of time. If anyone has any questions or anything that they would like to ask.
You guys are all artists, and I mean, this beautiful setting. I was wondering what you saw as the role of art, music, poetry, visual art, theater, in making the change in Trenton that you want to see. I mean, what does art do?
Well, I feel like art is really important because it gives people like an outlet. Like most times when people like act out, it's because they don't have anywhere to put their frustrations or those heavy emotions that they carry. So like with like art, that's a place where you can like bring it all out and not, you know, hurt anybody.
Some of my peers, they put up walls because they don't feel academically astute or whatever, but almost everybody can relate to art, so it's easy to get into. The onlookers that have walked through, they're still able to, even though they may not have sat down and viewed the play, they're still able to understand like what's going on, and it catches their interest because it's art. If we were up here giving a lecture, they'd probably be like, oh no, bye. Us being able to use art as a catalyst to connect with people, it just seemed appropriate. Yeah.
I commend each and every one of you on what you're doing, June, David, on what you're doing, but it needs to be seen by students who are in different settings. This city needs to see more young people who are doing positive things like this.
One great thing about Trenton is the youth. There's a lot of very, very talented people in Trenton. A lot of people in Trenton, they don't see that, and they just see the bad. And I think that, you know, by us being here, showing that we are the good, and not necessarily the good part, but some good coming from what bad that people talk about, and I think that's very great.
It's full of people, like it's full of these so very talented individuals and everything, and you know, everybody here, I feel like everybody here has like a lot of potential and can do something great with themselves and everything, but like the bad thing about it is like it lacks like motivation and like I guess belief in themselves and positive role models.
But there's like a lot more to the city, like a lot of talent and a lot of just great people that still lives in the city that people kind of like overlook because they're constantly seeing negative things in the paper, you know?
The kids who just graduated in 2012 and have finished their first year of college, they've had a lot of conversation about, I've gone away and I've come back and my city is uglier than when I left. It's just they've experienced a different city to live in, you know. They've gotten a different perspective and they come back with that different perspective, and they still want Trenton to be successful and they still want to be proud of their city. They just don't know how to do it.
I always think about like leaving but coming back because everybody talks about it. Like Indigo says, everybody talks about making it better, so why not stay? At least go out, go to college, start a career, and then come back. I don't want to leave and then stay gone.
I heard of a city where the streets are paved with gold. I heard of a city where the streets are paved with gold. I heard of a city where the streets are paved with gold. Big bright lights glitter pierce to the pavement. Everyone comes alive in the nighttime. Illegal fireworks blossom in the air like flowers. Everyone's front door is open to feel the cool summer breeze in the middle of July. If you think that New York City is a city that never sleeps, walk through Trenton on a summer night. Long walks from the boulevard to 7-Eleven is the story of my life. I'm talking about how the ice cream man is riding around all night long. I can hear Jan Rock's music from my window. I love my city. I heard of a city where the streets are paved with gold.